G'day viewers, welcome to this week's PB's Retro Restorations. This week it's my 1,000 subscriber giveaway BJ's Customs prize build. Yes, that's right, my prize draw from months ago. I had all sorts of crises, both real and imagined, but I finally got round to it, and I wanted BJ to get the custom van in the mail and see it for himself first before I shared its majesty with the rest of the world. This was one of my very first restoration attempts. I almost got to the end. I didn't quite get there and wasn't real happy with it, so I put it on the back burner. So BJ had the option of having this restored to the AA van or a special PB custom, and what person in their right mind wouldn't pick the custom? So I had to put my thinking cap on. So let's get crack-a-lackin', pull this thing apart for the second or third time, and see what I can come up with for BJ. Anyway, that's enough of that. So a white acrylic base coat. I had a vision of doing red with some black scallop like graphics on it, give a bit of a 50s vibe. And you think I would have learnt my lesson with the Leyland van. What shouldn't you spray over acrylic? I'll tell you. Red lacquer from a can, because you know what happens when you do that, kiddies? Well, you're going to find out if you don't know. Yes, it starts peeling right off, and I ruined it, and I had to strip it again, and I just started getting a mental blank on this build, and I tried sanding it and fixing it, and it didn't work. So stripped it again, sprayed it white, and then I decided I would just try and keep it simple. I got myself in such a funk about this build. I put a wall up in my mind that if it wasn't completely 100% flawless, then it would be a letdown to BJ, and I didn't want to send out an inferior product. But then I just started getting hyper worried about it, and I stripped it like 2 or 3 times. But in the end I thought, Peter, you've just got to push through. No build is perfect. If I kept sweating the small things, it would never get finished. So BJ, I hope you can accept, I know there's a few little flaws in this one, but I had to push through. So what I've done here is, white base coat, and then I printed out copies of all the decals I want to use, stuck them on with some blue tack, and sprayed my orange colour over the top. So when I peel that off, I'm left with white to put my decals over the top of. Alright, now we're coming up, you'll see my treatment for the back. It's not my idea. When I worked in a tool shop back in the 90s, I had a customer who had a white XF Ford Falcon panel van, and one day he says, "I'll come out and have a look at my van." I went out and the whole thing has been graffiti sprayed from top to bottom. And I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Oh, the police youth club had a thing for like street artists to keep kids off the street and spray painting something other than walls, so I donated my van. I told them they could do whatever they wanted." And one of the things they'd done was spray paint this massive skull on the back using the rear windows as eyes, and I've never forgotten it. It was such an awesome idea, and I've always wanted a chance to, a project I could try and replicate it in diecast. So that's the story there. I asked my son what he thought of my 70s orange and yellow and brown colour scheme. He said, "Well, it's very you. It's definitely you, Dad." So mission accomplished. So I know they're not the original tyres, but I wanted to pimp it out with some white tyres, and I thought I'd try, and it'd be great if I could lower it as well. BJ, I know you mentioned it in your unboxing video. You said, "I'm sure you've lowered this PB," and you're right, I have. And you know what I've done? Here's my secret. I just installed the base upside down and it dropped it a few inches, so that was a simple trick. I think it looks great. Grill treatment, laid it on a little bit too thick, or lost a little bit of the detail in it. And another thing with these pens, I look after these pens, I don't do them any harm, and sometimes the ink has turned in this big one since then, and it's not quite brilliant here, but it's really dull now. It's supposed to be shiny and chrome. Should I keep them in the fridge, viewers? Is someone a better expert at them than me? Or let me know. Some cracks, you may have noticed in some of the earlier shots, there's some cracks started forming in the black paint I put on the roof. So here I am just trying to amend that and fix it as best I can without starting from scratch again. I just would never have got it done if I got too heavy into it. But anyway, with that done, we're done. So here we are back at the start with the half kind of restored AA van that actually the more I look at it, I don't think it was that awful, but anyway, I've decided it was awful. It looked a lot worse. I should dig up I haven't got the footage of what it looked like before, but it was pretty trashed. Anyway, this is what I started with for BJ's Custom, and this is what we're left with now. Ta-da! Alright, and now it looks super pimpin'. It's been dropped on its guts, as they say, yo, word. And the paint was a little bit heavy on that grill. And look at that magnificent shot of my bald nut on the side and the skull on the back. What a family heirloom to be treasured and passed down from generation to generation. You can be able to tell your grandkids, BJ, like, you know, this is the time I was touched by greatness and won one of PB's super awesome customs. And then I wake up and come back to reality, and I just really just hope you like it, and thanks for your patience. You waited a long time for this. I've had some issues. I appreciate your patience, mate. Thank So thanks for sticking around to the end of my video. It must be because you're addicted to my gibberish. So thank you very much to all my regular viewers and subscribers. I appreciate your support. Hello and welcome to anyone else who's taken a punt and clicked on my video and decided to try it out. If you've stuck it out this long, it mustn't have been too awful. A couple of my other videos will have popped up here on your screen. Click on them, give them a try, and if you like what you see, maybe consider subscribing. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel out immensely. That's what all the influencers my wife watches say, so I'm going to say it too. Thank you very much. I try and have a video every Friday. I have been getting them out to every second Friday. So if I'm not here next Friday, I will definitely be here the Friday after. Thank you for your support. Stay safe, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!